intro. Same old crap in the news. Yeah. Notice a common theme. The poor folks always lose. Special Reefer Cake Friday here. I have a friend from Twitter, Marc Lewis Sal.
Hi guys. I constantly call into Majority Report. I am as not safe to drink. Marc from Flint. I'm from Flint, Michigan. You know, water crisis. Yeah. I don't drink the water. So not no jokes about that, please.
I'm so yeah, I don't have any jokes about that in my repertoire.
Yeah, good, because it is so tired. Oh God.
Yeah, man. Now that's great. You call into the Majority Report, man. Excellent.
Yeah. I've had a couple of my calls taken out and put in video, because I mean, it's not I don't call in anymore because I can't do the whole time, and I'll work during the day every weekday now. So
yes,
but you know how it is.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to call during the day, but I'm glad that it's kind of fun right now to be able to talk to you, a caller, and it's like the same feeling in a way, interacting.
Yeah,
it's cool, man. I appreciate your time to come on All the Hypocrisy podcast, brother. And like,
no problem.
Hypocrisy. I mean, about the hypocrisy of water. It's just insane to imagine someone up there in the power, and for them to say, you know, they're just drinking their water, and they have their everything's fine, and they're just like, yeah.
It's nuts to be in it. Not to dwell on it too much. I don't want to make this whole thing about that, but yeah, it's definitely like it's crazy to watch the reaction of a lot of the local officials, the state officials. Like, we got this mayor who was supposed to come in and fix it, and she's done a lot to line her pockets. But yeah, I had a bad feeling about her in the first place. That's that Karen Weaver. Like, she was all over the news for a while. Yeah, there's a reason she's not going on the news anymore, because she is wrapped in controversy after controversy. You probably see all this stuff with Jordan Sheridan and everything too.
Is she a Democrat or Republican? I don't know.
Well, Democrat, but you know, she's not really like a party person. It's more like she's too connected to the apparatus that runs the county, and the apparatus that runs the county is run by a mayor that, you know, that we actually years ago, and now he runs the county for some reason, and he's connected with her via financial obligations. They tried to do this big thing with the sanitation, and it's insane here. Like, it sounds like 70s Chicago politics over here, because there's so much corruption. And our previous mayor still hangs around, and he got unfairly maligned. I run into him all the time, talk to him on Facebook, and it's ridiculous what they did to him, and he's the only one with any sort of principles.
Oh, man.
And yeah, it's insane, but yeah.
Yeah. Though the hypocrisy comes into play every time they always have to criticize someone else to get in power, and then they do the exact thing that they were, they don't do anything.
What she did. That's exactly what she did. Yeah. I knew she was a bad deal the very second I saw her running her smear campaign against Dane Walling. I mean, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Dane Walling, but he got too unfairly connected to it. He didn't really have any power during that whole time. You know, that was the emergency manager law that none of us wanted, but they passed anyways. You know, there was just a lot of hypocrisy going around, and then, like, he became the poster child because he was supposedly in charge. It was just, oh my God, it was ridiculous the entire time. But
yes.
yeah, I don't want to dwell on the Flint thing too much. I talk about it too much.
Because yeah, we cover the bottom line is we need the water. People need to drink, but there's water pollution in a lot of bathe,
not just drink. Yeah. Bathing is a problem.
Yeah,
it's like that's polluted, a huge problem.
Yeah,
in some places, yeah. I'm one of the more lucky ones. I don't drink it, but you know, we have a shower filter just to kind of because it was drying out our hair and shit like that.
No,
we don't get the rashes or anything like that. Like some people get full on rashes, like full body rashes. But you know, so we're in one of the lucky areas because we're just outside of downtown. But no.
No, it's like third world country conditions. Where's Donald Trump with the big infrastructure spending to come to? Of course, what do you think?
No rich people here. No rich people here. What's he gonna do?
No.
The second poorest city in the country. He's not gonna. He doesn't. The whole Republican Party. They don't give a shit about us. We don't have any money here.
I hated when Obama drank the glass of water.
Oh yeah.
There, right? Oh man. What a
bunch. You remember? You remember? I called in about that.
I think I remember your call, man.
Yeah, I was pissed about that. That was not right. Yeah, like you know, that just goes to show it. Like, I voted for Obama, but you know, it was a strategic vote at best. It wasn't because of, you know, it was for the same reason I voted for Hillary. I know you're big thing on Hillary, but it just. The only, you know, I'm not going to vote for Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney would have been worse. I'm not going to vote for John McCain, you know. So it's like, that's the only amount that it's like, I'm constantly put in the position where I have to defend Obama, but at the same time, I'm like, I know how it is, you know.
Yeah.
That he did it that weren't right. So.
Yeah, let's go to my Hillary hatred. Because
all right, that's always fun. Yeah, well, please put me in the position where I have to defend fucking Hill Dog.
Well, maybe though, because I think what happens though is I get caught up in it and people forget that I did vote for Hillary. I made a big deal of it, but that I would trade my vote for Gary Johnson vote. I got that trade. Just wanted
honestly. That's not much better. That's a lot worse.
I know, but I would have gone with just anything to get the 5% to have another voice in the action, because to see the Democratic situation go down how it did, it was really like rigged. And on the Republican side, you had like 20 candidates, and
none of them good.
Yeah, none of them good. It's like, wow, assholes.
The big problem, like I keep finding with like the whole Gary Johnson thing is like I totally would have been fine with, say, if it was a voice like if we had, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a decent libertarian, and I can't, because the problem with Gary Johnson was he was basically just a Republican who liked to legalize weed. So it would have been a whole lot of like, if we got that third voice on that stage, on that national stage, it would have been a whole lot of, you know, Hillary would say something contrary to Trump. Trump would say something, you know, that a Republican says, which is a lot of what he did, you know, in those first few debates, besides, you know, the craziness. And then Gary Johnson would walk up to the mic and be like, I agree with Donald Trump, like to every question. So then, like, I see the necessary need to have that extra voice, but Gary Johnson just is not it, man. Except for weed.
We need that third libertarian on the stage, but you know who it has to be?
Who do you think?
The dancing fat man. I want the naked dancing guy from the libertarian convention.
Oh, good.
Literally,
Lord.
just.
I want Lord Buckethead.
Anything, just one other thing. So you got, on one side you got Donald Trump, and you got Hillary Clinton, then you got this naked dancing man. I think a lot of people would vote for the naked dancing man. Right?
After that last election, I honestly, I wasn't surprised. You know, I wouldn't have been surprised if Vermin Supreme didn't end up on that stage. Like, pony for everybody, guys. Pony for everybody.
We're in it's a reality crazy situation. You know, I voted for Hillary, but after the election, when she lost, I sort of went into this like extra, like I had a different kind of anger from the I guess what maybe the Majority Report, Sammy and the rest of them had feelings of everyone has their heartache and frustration in different ways. And for me, it kind of it had a different feeling to it, man. I don't know.
It's intense. I can feel it, you know. And that's the thing, you know, that's the key that, you know, that I think we disagree on is we were all angry. Still angry. I mean, every single day, like at least once a week, there's a time where I have to like sit down with my wife because she doesn't get herself involved with politics for religious reasons, you know, and I'm cool with that. But
nice.
At least once a week, I have to sit her down and just rant, just endlessly just go, I cannot believe what the fuck is going on, and just endlessly talk about everything from the stuff that they've removed, healthcare, which has become a constant thing, Russia, of course, because as you know, I know Bridget Maddow talks about it too much and Democrats talk about it too much, but there is something there, and it's crazily insane. I can't even. Oh my god, I get so. Oh
yeah.
So that's how I deal with my anger, and then I listen to the Majority Report, which is like, I swear they do the same thing, and then they go on the air and they can be calm and they can rationalize it, they can be sober, and you know, and all the times when I'm feeling like just going into like a violent, just nothing else matters kind of rage, I just hear that and it's just like, okay, so here's how we can deal with this. Here's how I can deal with this. But the Hillary rage, I get it. I do get it. I think at this point, it's beating a dead horse.
That was the point you were making on Twitter. As now I'm remembering, it was
she's done.
Beating a dead horse.
She is done. I didn't like her either, but you know, we all rationalized to voting for her, but she's done, man. She's not running for anything anymore, and I don't even think her daughter is going to run. I know they were trying to float that in the media, and it's just like, yeah, okay, sure. The last thing we want is another fucking Clinton. And, you know, she's done. Stick a fork in them. We know those who aren't stupid recognize why she lost. She lost because she wasn't charismatic. She ran on hating Donald Trump and not on any sort of message of change or advancing change or anything. You know, she tried to embrace Bernie's policies, but, you know, you ask the general public what those policies were, no one knows. She didn't run on anything. She ran on hating Donald Trump, and that was it. And while that, you know, was true, all the stuff she was saying about him, that's not, you can't win that way. You don't get people to want to vote for you to vote against somebody else. And we know that's her fault. That's her campaign's fault. No one denies that. No one at all. But at this point, I have to be like, okay, that's the case. We know that. We know the media is going to talk about their nonsense because they got to save face with the establishment and everything. They got to do that. That's their jobs. That's fine. And I don't watch them. Besides clips that I see on, you know, independent media, I don't watch them. I don't care. It's fun to laugh at more than anything. But
yeah. So here's what I think. Yeah. She's done. And I guess I had to, it's almost like I hold her up now as like the symbol of what not to be, not what will never work, and then I just keep on. But I think what I'm doing is maybe kind of like mean in a way, or like I'm getting to the point where I'm teasing, almost sounding like a broken record. I can hear that, but nonetheless, it seems like
I'll tell you that
I want to bring out any time, you know, like if I need to bring it out, just so you know, it's like I'm gonna bring it out. It has to happen. You know what I mean? She is that symbol. She is that vision of despair and loss. You know, she embodies what everything that you don't want to do and be. And all the people who said in the beginning, they were like, because I kept IMing. I would IM Sammy. I kept IMing. I'd say, guess what, Sammy? She's not going to beat Trump, my man. No, sir. And he'd say, well, I think normal people, well, I know that, but the thing is, I hang out with a lot of normal people, you know, like I actually know what I'm talking about. And I feel like it feels like kind of like anyone who was like me, who said no way that Hillary could ever win. No one gives any of us any shit of a credit for that. Not even a shred. If they were, I mean, Sammy, I think Sammy's in a position where he could give people credit if he wanted to, you know?
Well,
this is fact-based. It's like, I knew, you didn't know. Done.
Yeah. I mean, it boils down to then, like, is it really worth it to even worry about credit? I get, you know, wanting to receive credit for saying, yeah, I was right. I honestly think that
so arrogant.
all of us had that kind of feeling. Like,
yeah, you felt it. You had that fear.
My wife one day before the election looked at me and just said, "Is there any chance that Hillary could lose?" And the first thing I did, like, no, she'll win. She'll win. Like, no problem. People will turn out. And then I stopped myself and I went, but crazier things have happened. And she just kind of looked at me, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. All I can tell you is these are what the poll numbers are showing. If people show out like the poll numbers show, we'll be fine. If
hey,
not,
wait, Mark, hold that thought. I'll be back in one. Just give me 30 seconds. I'll be right back. Just a quick moment.
All right.
All right, man. Sorry about that. Just got to check on the youngins. All right, dude.
Fair enough, man. I hear that.
So yeah. We were saying, you were just like, you basically was like, you know, you thought Hillary had it. I think, right?
We all thought Hillary had it, but there was that little part, like I said, where I just had to tell my wife, there is a good chance. There is a chance.
Yes.
That all of this could just blow up in our faces. And, you know, I remember one of the times I called in to Michael, I told him that there was a lot that reminded me of, I can't remember if it was before or after the election. I'm pretty sure it was before, because like I stopped calling after the election because I couldn't get through. I called and I told him that a lot of the way Hillary was running her campaign reminded me of 2004 with John Kerry and how that turned out. And I just kind of said,
too. Exactly.
I was, you know, I was like, everyone hated Johon Kerry. And I was like, that's my fear. And, you know, he did, I remember he did the John Kerry impression, you know, because I was like, you know, you got this guy that's got the charisma of Frankenstein while he's dying, you know, in the Arctic. And, you know, and he's just like, fuck you. which is great. But he understood what I was saying. It's like, I mean, we all accepted that there was a possibility. It just seems so unrealistic at the
Yeah,
time.
man. I remember I was so sure that Kerry would win because of the Michael Moore, like that. It was so obvious. It's like, what kind of a twisted world would vote for Bush after the war? Yeah, it's just like, wow.
That's the thing that drove me to still say Hillary was going to win was, during that time I got it. Like, people were still afraid from 9/11.
Yeah,
like
that makes 9/11 did shit, man.
It changed a lot.
Yeah.
Call it what it is. It changed a lot. It was the defining moment in recent history that has changed policy from here on out. I don't think a Donald Trump gets elected if there is no 9/11. Honestly, that fear and that tribalism on the right does not exist without 9/11. Like,
yeah,
we've had enough time to think about it. I honestly believe that.
What's fucked up about 9/11 is, I mean, you could say it, just the fundamental of it is that there was the box cutter guys. Like, could have been anybody. Could have been like some little band of neo-Nazis. Like, could have been that kind of like. But when it happened,
wish it was. Like, fuck.
It kind of was, but I guess like for some reason when it happened, the whole news was all like, they made us more afraid because they were just like, they made it sound like it was really high, yeah, they learned how to fly a plane in a simulator. I mean, there's certain things they did and all that shit, but it wasn't fucking like, high tech Russian or like some kind of like high tech shit. Just guys with fucking box cutters.
It was a basic plan that just had everything go right for it to. And but like the aftermath, we just played into the aftermath, and
yeah, and the media stoked it on. I mean, the fact that the towers fell, that to me is kind of like the insane thing about it too. Like, maybe they knew that because the jet fuel or whatever, but the thing that you never think a jet, you could smash it into some building, but they actually made the whole fucking towers fall. It blew people's sense of fear like out of proportion. Like, almost like you hurt your back when you just bent over slightly, then you're afraid to ever bend over again. Like,
yeah,
it's like a sad sight. Like, we have to just do normal things and get rid of this fear. It's so demented, man. And the amount of money that goes into this whole situation. Like, that's why, how long have you listened to Majority Report? So you've been back a while. It sounds like you called for a while.
I've been listening for, I think, 6 years. I didn't go back to the Aramaic days. I started listening to.
It's a long time though. 6 years, you say?
Still, yeah. That's longer than I've been married. So like, so a while. But like, I found Sam. You remember he did like this weird Saturday thing on the Young Turks. He did on the Young Turks channel when they were when they basically ran off this weird streaming system where it's basically Windows media player, and like I would just let it run. When I was back living at my parents' house, back in like 2009, 2010, and like he popped up, and I loved it was really raw and everything, but like I loved the way he talked about things. Like, I was young, so the emotionalness of a Cenk Uygur really drew me in, and the things he would say really drew me in. But then to hear that sober voice is like, there was something about that drew me to it, to like let me grow up. Like, I see the Young Turks as like the adolescent version of progressive news, and you kind of grow up and you listen to the Majority Report to hear, okay, look, we're not going to be spitting into the mic and, you know, freaking out, because we need to look at every angle as a possibility and not, you know, cry ourselves to sleep every night because we spend all day freaking out. Gotta love Chang. Chang's fucking great, but you know, then it's a completely different ballgame on the Majority Report. So that's kind of what drew me in, just the soberness of it. That's the best way I can explain the Majority Report.
Yeah, but it's also comedy though, right? Like, yeah, it's sober, but I find I was into the comedy part of it the most, the sobriety, as you drink, sobriety. But like, I know what you mean though. Like, he's very thoughtful and but I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I think that what I guess I run into trouble, like, but also step outside of it one step is like, I'm not even about. I don't think you should really just say that anybody is good, or no, you can if you want to. Like, everyone can do what they want, but in my particular scenario, I like to just pick like a little handful of people and then compare stuff and then be like, okay, this guy's really good. And so Sam Seder measures up good, but I listened to him before I started listening to a lot of other shows a few years ago, I guess. I mean, so when the conflicts are happening now, I'm just trying to set the stage here. So like, looking at this landscape now, I think a tinge of what you're saying and what the thing that I'm worried about is kind of like, well, not really the Young Turks versus Sam Seder, but Sam Seder versus like Jimmy Dore or versus the Tim Black. That was a big one this week. Or versus, if you take Tim Black and Jimmy Dore and then you lump this whole other segment in with them, I could go like Jordan Sheridan, and like, it'd be like a list, more and more people.
I gotta say, I'm on Sam's side as far as like, Tim he didn't make the arguments, and it's hard to make the arguments he was trying to make when, you know, the evidence of like his you know, what he covers most on his YouTube channel is out there. Like, I wasn't aware of Tim Black until that came about. So like, I follow select few too, but I'm starting to kind of branch off, and I'm gonna start getting rid of some. Kyle Kowalski for one is gotten Jesus Christ,
they add up. You get a long list.
Yeah, the list is getting longer. Like,
the list of channels gets long. I just got into this like a year or two ago, but
yeah, I remember you making that announcement about that. But the thing that really like made me feel like, okay, Tim, you need to take a step back and really think about what you're saying, was when he started talking about Nancy Pelosi and how we just need to get rid of it. And it's funny because a few days ago, I was listening to a clip from Young Turks where John Iadarola said the same thing. And at the time, I you know, it was early, I thought about it. I was like, you know, that kind of makes sense. He said, yeah, we need to get rid of her because they're constantly running on her. And yeah, that does make sense. But where Majority Report is different than the Young Turks and Tim Black is, then you hear, okay, yes, I hear that, but here's the results of what will happen because of that. Cause, reaction, you know, action, reaction. I mean, and Steny Hoyer, for fuck's sake, I don't like. I wish our the representative we have in the Flint area, Dan Kildee, I wish he was more popular. I wish he wanted to be more popular. Because he would be a good person to have. Like, I don't know how much of a progressive he is, but I know that he fights very well, and he, because he's born and raised Flint. His whole thing, everybody knows the Kilties around here. It'd be great to have him even close to that, but he's not. We can all talk about who we want to be there, but like what I've learned is it's like baseball. We have to play with the team that we have at this point. Because I saw you yesterday talking about the whole Nancy Pelosi thing and talking about how Sam said that she's a good leader. She's a good leader that does, Hitler was a good leader, but that doesn't mean that what they're doing is good and what he's saying isn't that what she's pushing is good. She's saying that she gets people behind her, follow her. She gets people to listen to her. She knows how to command people to do the things that, need to be done from her perspective. But getting rid of her and putting in place what would most likely happen, because we still have this establishment propping these people up, it would be Steny Hoyer. We wouldn't be able to talk to the Democratic establishment to change that. We can't do that. We don't have that. That's not the team that we have on the field. That's not the team we have in the clubhouse. The team we have in the clubhouse is, okay, to use my Tigers as an example, we got pitching problems. We got like a mediocre starting pitcher, like, I don't know, Justin Verlander's been very good, but I'll just use him because he's the only thing coming to mind because I've been drinking.
Verlander is the name.
Yeah. Like just the other day, Justin Verlander, he reached a pitch limit because he's getting older. They took him out. They had a 6-run lead, blew the fucking lead because the bullpen is shit. Who else were they going to put out there? You had who you had in the bullpen to put out there. You had to make a choice. These are the people that are at our disposal and will be put in there. They have to fill that vacuum. So we get rid of Nancy Pelosi. We get an even worse Steny Hoyer, is what I'm saying. And it's like, that's not a win for us. That's not a win for anyone.
So that's taken into consideration. But on the other hand, you have just the image of Nancy Pelosi. What we need, I think, is the image of someone who's, let's just imagine, is there someone out there who's a candidate supporting legal weed? Is there someone out there against war, for single payer? Is there someone like that? Is someone like who we can put out there? We could get that to be the thing that symbolizes the Democratic Party. Then we're moving the ball in the way we want. So this is, to me, get rid of
that's why it's a process.
Steny Hoyer versus Pelosi is not really what I like to work on. That's something that Sammy can handle, and I'm not gonna. It's fine. I trust him. I trust him on that.
But that's what we have. But we can talk about what we want all day, and I agree with you. I 110,000% agree with you. But that's what we'll have. We'll have Steny Hoyer, and that's
somebody
not
beats
better for
Pelosi. Whoever beats Pelosi. I don't know, but what if they did it on these issues that make us shine? Well, then
that'd be wonderful.
So that, I don't know it all depends to me on who's beating Pelosi and what kind of like symbolism that puts into our minds, so, but like, so that's what I just mean about like this thing. I was kind of leading up to being like, so you got all these channels and shit, and I know people all want to pick their favorite one. But I think that one of the things that bothers me is when somebody just says like what Sammy's doing on some issues of his choice, because like the reason he's doing it doesn't seem to be like, okay, so let me just throw it out as Seth Rich. Let me just tell you how, if I was Sammy, all right, I would be like, let's talk about Seth Rich. I'll be like, because Sammy apparently already wants to assume that there's no way the DNC had anything to do with the killing.
Well,
and that's cool.
All
right, so let's go with that.
The evidence isn't there. It was
Right.
It was brought about
So
by someone who's a known conspiracy theorist who's not trustworthy at all. I mean, I understand why he does stuff.
But the thing is, check it out. How would Sammy cover it? Let me just say here. This is just a quick little thing I was thinking.
Okay.
If I was Sammy, and instead of being afraid of it, instead of acting like I'm scared to talk about it, scared of it, scared, and I'm gonna get all angry if someone says, "Oh, angry, hate you, blah blah blah, you blah 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 blah." Instead, what you might be able to do for real, man, is if he has a side on it, if Sammy has a side on it, which is obviously Sammy is convinced that this was that this is all something made up by Julian Assange. That's a big name. Kim.com. So why wouldn't Sammy start talking about, wow, I'm really suspicious of Kim.com. What's up with Kim.com? Let's look into him. Let's start to see, why would Kim.com say this? Why would Julian Assange say this? Let's peel it apart in the way that because the story to me, my friend, is a story of great drama. It's just unreal. It's Julian Assange, brother. This is the guy who is WikiLeaks. Okay, man? The fucking dude was killed. So that could be, you can go against Assange on that. You can go against Assange. It's a story one way or the other. And you can't put anyone down either way they want to look at it. It's a story. That's all. So that's what I had to say. Your response. You're
not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it.
Give it to me. Just don't talk about it, is what you say. Just don't talk about it. Pretend it isn't there.
Well, what's there?
That's what I said. Kim.com and Julian Assange.
Yeah, okay. Julian Assange, his play in this was to have WikiLeaks post this, we'll give you money for information on his death. Kim.com, who's not, former pirate, not a trustworthy guy in the first place.
An interesting guy, though.
The conspiracy.
An interesting
guy. The conspiracy comes from Rod Wheeler. He
didn't make it up. Rob Wheeler didn't make it up.
Pistol packing lesbians guy.
Yes.
Did he make that up? What's stopping him from not making this up? It's got everything that Rod Wheeler would want. He's a Fox News guy. He's clearly a conservative. He's clearly a guy who has this vendetta against the Clintons because there is nothing that Republicans hate more than Hillary Clinton. Here's what. So we've already got all these actors who Julian Assange hasn't really added much, but to the extent that he has, it's dubious at best, and I've really questioned his credibility since before the election. Since, I don't know, both the DNC and RNC were hacked.
Yeah.
Both the DNC and the RNC were hacked, but for some weird reason, only the DNC stuff was out, and they were always with these loaded headlines. They would see, blah 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 blah. It said
maybe
this
he's
about,
getting paid. He's getting paid by the Republicans. Is that what you're suggesting? Probably, no. Right?
Yeah.
Paid by Trump. Assange is paid by.
Here's where we get
by
the
Trump.
Conspiracy. And if I had,
some reason, why is Assange doing this? Why, man? Tell me why.
Where is he?
Let's talk to him
right now. Ecuadorian embassy, right?
Let's get him on the podcast.
Don't be Dave Rubin. Aim for where you can hit your target. So fast, but you know what I'm saying. Oh God. Anyways, we'll get to that because I love. Oh my. Anyways, so here's the thing with that. Assange has been proven to be very vindictive, and I get why he doesn't like the Clinton, doesn't like the Clintons, doesn't like the Obama administration. I understand all of that, and whether or not he's in the wrong or the right to feel that way is a completely different conversation. However, he hasn't outright said that he believes anything. You know, he just offered up, hey, look at this. We will offer money for who killed Seth Rich. Other than that, there's absolutely no evidence to suggest that Seth Rich was the leaker. Just all speculation.
Kim.com says it. He's a guy.
So is Rod Wheeler, pistol packing lesbian. I mean, pink pistol packing lesbians guy says it's true, so it must be true, right?
Rod Wheeler.
Here's why we don't.
Rod Wheeler didn't say it. Kim.com said it. Rod Wheeler's just kind of like the talker guy. He doesn't really know anything, I think.
No,
he's just kind of like this
quoting Rod Wheeler. It all comes back to Rod Wheeler. No.
Kim.com is not quoting Rod
Kim.com defends Rod Wheeler. He started on it because he saw Rod Wheeler talking about it. Not because he knows anything. He goes, oh, Rod Wheeler says this. It must be true. I believe it. And then Rod Wheeler comes out with the retraction days later. You know,
I mean, you just got to go to Kim.com. You just go to that website and it says it.
Jimmy, I got to get to this point. I got to get to this point, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Here's where this is where the danger is, and you know, having someone with some sort of credibility covering it. We start discussing it in these abstract ways where we're discussing where the information comes from rather than whether or not any of it's true in the first place. There was nothing there. One guy said something on Fox News, and all of a sudden this thing exploded, you know, and you get people like Jimmy Dore. He makes this video about it, this, you know, 25-minute video, and then a day later makes a retraction. Here's where the danger is. The retraction video, at the last time I checked, had 17,000 views on it. That's not bad. That's nothing to cough at all. That's average for Jimmy Dore's videos. That's right in the part, and that is nice. That's good. Any YouTuber, you know, in their right mind would love that. But
Jimmy's the man.
His original Seth Rich video, the original one, the one that he says doesn't matter anymore because he made the retraction, the one that he says doesn't matter anymore and shouldn't be the focal point. Last time I checked, and this was 2 weeks ago, 70,000 views. That is getting out to people more than the retraction. So they don't even know that a retraction exists. They're sharing it around the internet, and this is how misinformation spreads. So they don't even know that Rod Wheeler went back and said, actually, yeah, you know what? None of that what I said was true. It was actually all bullshit. And sorry, I jumped the gun on bad information because he's never going to admit I kind of fucking lied because I heard this conspiracy about, you know, something, and I was like, oh, I'll take down the Clintons because, you know, fuck them. I'm conservative. I hate the Clintons more than I like America. So
you can do that. I mean, but I think though
you can do that if you care about only views, if you only care about the revenue you get from the ads, but you don't do that for credibility.
I think you have to cover. I just think you have to cover events.
You don't have to cover everything.
It's a thing. It's happening.
It's the Alex Jones effect. Just because somebody says these are crisis actors at Sandy Hook, just because someone says that, hey, look, this kid kind of looks like another kid, it must be the same kid, and even though the pictures are 10 years apart and they have clearly different names and they're clearly not from the same area, and if you look at the actual details below, they look nothing alike, you know, doesn't mean you have to cover it. It doesn't mean that, because then you're just adding to the idea that this has credence. You're giving weight to it. If something remains weightless, it goes away. There's nothing there. He loved to work for the Clintons. He wanted to work for Hillary Clinton. Why would he throw that all away? His family has said, please stop saying this. This is not who he was. He was not the leader. He was not. Yes. His family has said over and over again, please stop saying this. You're you're slandering our son who died.
Well, if he was the leaker, that's not a slander. He leaked for a reason.
Wasn't.
But
he
we
wasn't
don't know.
The leaker.
The point is, maybe
do
not.
Know that.
Let's just say that we find out he was in the future. That would be crazy. So let's just wait for that and move on to the next. Let's move on to the next one.
We could end up finding out in the future that that Hitler was right in destroying in trying to kill all the Jews because they bring some sort of weird disease from outbreak, and we could say that all we want, but that's not reality.
I'm worried. I don't know. I don't know why that Kim.com and Julian Assange, those are the two names that I keep going back to.
They don't like
the Clintons.
They don't, and I understand why. Like I said, that's
okay. Yeah. So let's just shift it to the side then. Let's just shift it to the side as say okay, DNC lawsuit. So Seth Rich involves a murder. Can't do that. DNC lawsuit. That's just like people trying to get the money back that they spent and feel that they've been cheated. So that's at least a story to cover. So that's another one too, where it'd be like, yeah, you're talking about the DNC lawsuit, you little fuck. You're gonna kill us all. And I'd just be like, DNC lawsuit is a fucking important story. Big time. And if you talk about it more, if we could just create such a distrust of all the establishment Democrats, that's maybe the same thing that Sammy's afraid of. Like, he thinks that then all the Democrats are going to lose. Oh, so, but this
I don't think that's it at all.
Who knows?
He hasn't ever given the impression that he gives two shits about that,
So the DNC lawsuit, what's that about? I mean, why isn't that an interesting story? It is to me.
Because it confirms your bias, man. That's
I hate the DNC. Yes, I do. I hate the DNC because they fucked over Bernie and they fucked over our chances at beating Trump and they fucked over this whole country. And if you want to point the finger at this fucking racist, poor redneck dude, you might as well point the finger at a fucking rich ass motherfucking Hillary Clinton and all her bitch ass Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Right?
I completely agree with that. So I completely agree. I don't like the DNC either. I think they're terrible. I think they have no idea how to win in today's climate. You can't be Republican-like. You can't do that. But here's why I see. Sorry, I got my wife messaging me. Just a second.
Yeah, we got to wrap this up pretty soon because.
Okay. Yeah, I just had to let her know I'm.
We're in the final quarter here, folks. Winding down, taking some foul shots.
That's a heavy question,
people are fouling, making fouls, so that you can, final 2 minutes here. Mark, give it to me, buddy. I mean, what's the big picture? Like, maybe we should just say at this point, why don't we just say, fuck all that shit. If you want to watch whatever you watch, just make sure at the end of the day, Bernie 2020. Mic drop.
Maybe not Bernie, but definitely someone in his ilk and wing. Yeah. That's definitely something to agree on.
Bingo, buddy.
I just we need to be very careful about giving weight to things that have no center is the best way I could put it, we need to be careful. We need to be careful when we talk about things like the Seth Rich thing. We need to be careful when we talk about the DNC lawsuit. Whether or not there's weight there for us to lift up in the first place, we need to make sure that's there before we do it. And from everything that I've looked into about the DNC lawsuit, I think they're going to lose. I think they don't have a case. They can't. The term rigged in the essence of did they change votes? Did they block people from voting? Did they do this to alter how the voting happened, which is what rigged would mean. All those answers are no. No, they did not. They did not stop people from voting because they were Bernie voters. They did not do that. There's no factual evidence to that. But when it comes to, say, did they tip the scales by having the debates on a weekend when no one was watching, besides, losers like us who are just obsessed with the shit? Yes, they did do that, but I don't see any way that at that point that it would have changed any of the results. I mean, he got this huge win in Michigan, and I canvassed for him as much as I could. I was one of the early, because I watched the majority report. When he announced his candidacy, I was the first one to start telling my family, look for this Bernie guy. And my parents told me flat out, they were like, he says he's a socialist, though. I don't think America's ready for that. He's like, I may agree with his policies. I may like everything he said. My dad's a pretty liberal guy. I mean, his son's married to a black woman in, poorest city. He's the old union guy, GM, like most baby boomers, he's a pretty liberal guy. And he just said, I don't think America's ready for someone who openly says, I'm a democratic socialist, that keyword socialist. And I said, let's just see what happens. I think it's going to be closer than you think. Let's get the word out and see what happens. And he won Michigan, and that was beautiful. God damn, that was beautiful. To my city. Multiple times. He spoke to people. There's a clip up of him talking to my cousin, and my cousin works for the city, and he just absolutely laid into him about the problems here are not just the water. And Bernie just didn't miss a beat. Here's the answer. Here's what I want to do. This will help Flint. This will help everyone in the country. And it was wonderful. So when we say that this DNC lawsuit has weight, when we say that he needs, Sam and the others need to cover it because it's a thing that exists, because it fits some bias that we have towards the DNC, because it fits some bias we have against the Clintons. We can't do that because the weight isn't there. There's nothing proving that they went in and changed votes. There's plenty to prove that they favored, but that's not the same as rigging. That's not the same as going in and blocking people from voting, changing people's votes after they vote. It's not the same thing. And we have to be very, very careful in that.
That's why they're having the trial, though, right? I mean, that's what's going to be discovered in court right now. And
they're not going to find it, though.
Well, hey, buddy, they got it into court. I like the fact that they're bringing light to even if it isn't whatever line you want to draw. If you read through the documents or hear people talk about what gets exposed during the court, it's pretty interesting. And the majority report does cover it, but I just think they might be like, well, they do. You know how they're just like, DNC lawsuit. Like they'll cover it and then they'll be like,
there's no news yet. That's the thing. Like I had this guy. Yeah. I got to tell you about this real quick. I had this guy just yesterday. He was very critical of Sam. He ended up blocking me. He was a guy from Detroit who was very pro weed and everything. And
was he chained in through me? No, it wasn't.
I have no idea. I have no. It was like it was because me and Sam were talking about the Rubin thing. Okay. And, he was doing his plea to get on Rubin, which that's another conversation. Okay. But this guy tried to say, well, Sam and them, they don't ever talk about Flint. How does that make you feel? I'm like, this is the same thing with the lawsuit. Here's the connection. There's no stories coming out of Flint regarding the water. Not right now. There's nothing else to talk about right now. We can't just keep saying, oh, well, the water's still bad. There's a Twitter for that. does Flint have clean water?
Yes.
There's a Twitter for that. I follow it, and every single day, like 6-7 times a day, they say nope, and we don't.
Yeah.
But there's no other news to say. There's no news in the DNC lawsuit.
Majority Report, Majority Report covered the Flint, but the same way, just before I just remember at one point saying how Tim Black, he looked at Tim Black's list of videos and say, oh, all Tim Black covers is Seth Rich. No, dude.
No, he didn't say that.
But just let me say,
he didn't
whatever.
cover healthcure. He didn't.
Right.
Just about what he did cover.
He did
say Seth Rich, but he also said there's no video on here that says
no titles,
healthcare, and that's incredibly important, especially for me who's got several pre-existing conditions. My wife has just had a flare-up of Bell's palsy, which is not fun at all.
Yeah.
We are the perfect example. Saved by the ACA. My life was saved by the ACA.
Yes, but that's what I mean. I'm trying to say, man.
Talk about that's more important than talking about Seth Rich, because there's no story there. There's a story with healthcare. That's what I'm saying.
No, I like that he tried to bring that up, but I just want to say that in the same way that someone says you don't cover Flint, the Majority Report, someone saying this to Tim Black, all you cover is Seth Rich and you don't cover healthcare. Well, I beg to differ. If you actually watch Tim Black, he covers fucking wide variety, and he also, what he does is he lets people call in, and he does it in a way that is very inducive to letting the caller make their point. And they talk about clean water a lot, my man. I heard some people from Virginia. There's clean water problems all over the country. He's big on that shit.
Virginia's bad. Virginia's been bad longer than us.
You don't want to take a guy who voted the Green Party and start talking like they don't care about water or healthcare, frankly. Both things on the Green Party, 100%. Tim Black is on that shit. So is Sammy. But where they disagree, where they have a difference is in style. They should not be adversaries. I am the man to say that. Maybe you are. I am the man to say
they shouldn't be adversaries.
All of this does not, all of this is just a lot of
but it's so damaging to our cause.
Exactly. But in the end, this is what I'm saying. Sammy covers shit. Tim covers shit. They do great. And honestly, the stuff that Sammy does, it's annoying. If you watch Tim's video where Tim did like a takedown sort of about his call, you get a feel for the things that Sammy does that I think are stylistically offensive to someone, to talk down to someone and to act. But of course, you make a good point that Sammy is the adult. That's his role in the whole thing. But I'm telling you that like, we have to be careful. Sammy says he wants to police everybody else, but I'm gonna police him.
No,
I'm gonna police. I'm the police. I'm naming myself the police. Right? You're the police. Everyone out here is the police, not Sammy.
The listeners are
Sammy's not my policeman.
But at the same time, we can't tell him what he should and shouldn't cover, because he also does have he's earned his integrity. He's earned his he's earned his credibility. And we, out of all the people that you and me follow, he's the one that cares about that the most. Like I've gained, I find more and more reasons to gain respect for him. The Dave Rubin thing. He took that. I don't like that he took the video down. I've been trolling Rubin for the past year, and he's an annoying little shit who can't, he wants, he's doing it all for money, and that's clear. Even to read that AMA, it's hilarious how terrible. Even his fans were like, you didn't actually answer my question. There were people on the Twitter feed who was just like, yeah, dude, you should not have done this. You didn't answer anyone's question. There was even one dude who's like, yeah, I'm revoking my Patreon donations to you because I can't do it anymore. You are so biased. No matter how many times you say it, you have a bias. And you know, I Sam's up there on Twitter, even if it's just his persona on Twitter for Dave Rubin to feel better about him, which I have a feeling it is, because I mean, he's said that Rubin is stupid in the past. He is a goddamn moron. But he said he took the video down. He keeps saying, look, I apologize for what my producer did. I wasn't there at the time. I wasn't there to help cut the video, or to say, don't put this name on, don't put these words in the title or anything.
What video is this? What video are you talking about?
It's gone now.
It's gone
you
now?
Can find. Yeah, you can. It's still on the live broadcast. You can find that on YouTube. It's where Michael was talking about how stupid Dave Rubin is,
right?
And because he was flipping out about how that Mother Jones writer lumped him in with the All Right, said he was all right, and he got super pissed about it. It was always a fun time on Twitter.
The alt-right people like, I am alt-right. I love you, right? So that happened.
Yeah, pretty much. And Dave Rubin's like in the AMA, people were like, why don't you just call yourself a libertarian? And he's just like, well, because I believe. He abstractly said, well, it's because I have more belief in the government and social programs than libertarians do. And it's like, specifics, meaning you want poor people to get $1 towards a loaf of bread, as opposed to libertarians wanting them to just not give them anything. And he didn't say anything at all besides this platitude of, well, I believe more in the government than libertarians.
There you go.
Okay.
It's but everyone's got a slice of this little I get all these little brands and little flavors everyone's going for. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. I'm not this.
Classical liberal, man. He's a classical liberal. What the fuck does that mean? I don't know, but I talked to a Nazi last week, and he had some ideas, and I don't think we should shut him out. But fuck you, Mr. SJW. You need to get the fuck out of here.
Man. Hey, man, summarize. Hey, I appreciate having you on the show. No problem, I'd like to talk to you some other time, man. It was a while.
I'd like to do it again.
Thanks, dude. I like to have people like you. You know what you're talking about. You have your own opinion. We disagree on whatever, but the point is, dude, our disagreements.
Times we need to talk about music. I still haven't gotten to ask you about the question I wanted to ask about music and stuff. Cause I didn't. I was going to tell you earlier. I've had my disagreements with a lot of your songs as of recently, but there was one we did a couple weeks ago where the wordplay and everything, you're so much better when you're writing not free-form lyrics where you're trying to fit in the stuff into the song, you're fitting too many thoughts into a song. Everything worked for that song, man, and fucking kudos on that.
Was that the People's Party song? Which one was that?
I think it was the People's Party, but I listened to it and I was like, oh my god, he's got it back, man. He's got it back. Please stick with that, man. Take your time. If you gotta take longer to write, because I get it. Writing a song, I sat down and I tried after the election to because I wanted to offer something else. I wanted to offer, because I'm a musician too. I mean,
yes.
You see in the background some of my shit.
Yeah.
I'm out and I'm playing still, and I'm young. I could do that. But I tried to do it, man. I wrote this one song, and maybe I'll share it with you one day. And I recorded it on my little interface and shit. And I was gonna record and make it really good, and I just lost the drive to want to, because I would keep thinking of you know, these lyrics don't work. I need to do this. And I ran it by a few friends, and they're like, yeah, you need to change this, this, and this. And I'm just like, okay. And I started getting nervous, and then all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. A song a week is really fucking hard. A song a month is really fucking hard. And to focus strictly on politics, like I'm better free form when I write. I can't do that, man.
Yeah.
So I give you a lot of credit, but man, take a little bit more time in between your songs because that song is fucking fire.
Hey, thanks, man.
You know,
some of them I feel like
too much at once. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, I think some of my songs are just annoy people at the mood that they're in, even during the show. Like it's like all of a sudden I come in, but you know what you do? I mean,
yeah,
the best.
It's like this weird metric where it's like they're spending the whole show talking about like exactly the opposite of what your song ends up talking about. And then they're just like, yeah, we need to stop talking about Hillary anymore. We can't concentrate on weed right now. Here's the reality of what we got to do. We got to talk about, you know, this Russia thing. We got to talk about this Trump thing. And then you come in and you're just like, fucking don't talk about Russia. And Hillary's still a bitch. Fuck that fucking cunt and her asshole. Yeah. And they're just sitting there and we're just like, it feels like it's literally that problem of where a comic walks on stage and he doesn't read the room at all. Like if he just walks on, like if a black comic walks on stage and starts making black jokes out of like he's in like Chattanooga, Tennessee or something.
Yeah.
And like the whole crowd is white and they're just like, I don't know if I should laugh. I don't know how I feel about that.
I think you got to know right? That's part of why I think it's funny though. I mean, that really is. I'm trying to do it, man. I really am. Unfortunately,
parody is so hard, man. I get it.
Unfortunately, man, it's just like I can't. And the songs, the way they come, probably the one you might have thought I thought about the most and crafted the longest. It just came immediately as well as the other ones.
Oh, I know.
Because like the thing about writing songs.
Those are the best ones.
You just don't,
you can't force it.
You can't force it and over manipulate it, you know, like, and then if you just have like a couple good, and I was being truly, because I got in this rut where I was just sick of, I mean, at Trump, what more can you do? I did a few pee-pee songs on him. I did like quite a few really like, you know, he's disgusting. It's just like, it didn't inspire me. Yeah, I didn't feel an inspiration. It's so like he's so gross. It's just
branch out beyond Trump. You know that it's the same thing that Majority Report you know says of the establishment. You got to branch out beyond Trump because Trump is not the only problem in here. He's actually kind of the least. He's the final guaranteed signature on these bills. But man, it's Paul Ryan, it's Mitch McConnell, it's the leadership. It's those people. Talk about them because man, you got the perfect setup.
Yeah.
Next week, talking about how Mitch McConnell was dragging disabled people out of his offices because they were afraid that he's going to take away his healthcare, which he's going to fucking do.
Right.
You know, that's fire right there, man. That's fire.
Something. Yeah, it's true. It's true, man. Probably I'm influenced by watching too much Jimmy Dore. You know, it's
stop doing that. Second of all, stop doing that.
No, I'm not gonna stop that. But I can understand. I understand what you're saying. Hey, man, have a great night, buddy. Let's talk again. Hey, best to your wife. Thanks for having your time, buddy. I appreciate it, man. All the hypocrisy.com.
Beer, man.
This is my man, Mark. Have a good night.
No hypocrisy here.
No hypocrisy. Just good discussion. Peace, brother. Have a good night. All right.